Hello friends, welcome again back to my channel. How you guys all doing? Hope you're all doing fine. I want to say a very big thank you to all my subscribers. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for always coming back. I appreciate you a whole lot. And if you're new here, I also want to say thank you guys. So today I'm going to show you how to make this Dolman sleeve elastic waist jumpsuit. Okay, so this one is a super easy one. You want to see this? Then let's dive into it, guys. So here is my prints with my working tools. So what I'm going to do is to cut for the upper part first, the half length cut, then we'll go to the next. So this is a piece of fabric that I'm going to be using. You can see I have this folded into two first, then again into four. So which means I'm going to be cutting out for both the front and the back piece together. As you can see, it's on fold. So the exact length I have here is just 20 inches. So starting from the tip there, I'm indicating 1 inch there for the slope. Yes, that's what I'm using for the slope. Then I'll come to the tip there and I'll mark 3 inches. I'll go ahead and connect that, and that's going to be my slope. Now from that slope point there, I'll go down by 11 inches, which will represent what? My sleeve opening. So I'll mark that down. So that point there, I'll convert it to a straight line. So that's now going to be my chest line, okay? Now the next thing I'm going to indicate now will be what? The waistline at 17. Then I'll add 1 inches for seam allowance, making it 18. That's joining the shoulder at the top. So that's 18. So what I have there left now will be what? 2 inches left. So that 2 inches, I'll be using that what? For the elastic casing. Okay, remember it's an elastic waist, so that's what I'm going to be using. Then coming now to indicate my shoulder width, which is actually 16 divided by 2, 8 inches was what I have there. So from that point to the end, that's going to represent my sleeve length. So what I have there is 10, but I want my sleeve to be 8 inches actually. So which means the remaining 2 inches left, I'll be using it for to hem the sleeve, okay? I'll be using it for the hemming allowance for the sleeve. All right, so moving on now to the neck measurements. Now I'm going to use a neck width of 4 inches. Then I'll be using what? A neck depth of 3 for the back, okay? Neck width of 4, neck depth of 3 for the back, going ahead to create my curve. While for the front neckline, I'm going to use about 6.5 inches for the neck depth, and this one is going to be a V-neck. So I'll go ahead and use my ruler and also make that slant line so you can see this now. So we're done there now. Now the next thing is to fix the body measurements. So for the chest line, I'll fix the bust circumference, which is 48 divided by 4. That's 12 inches. Then I'll go ahead and add about 4 inches there, okay? So this totally depends on what you want. So I want this to really be free. So that's why I'm adding 4 inches. I'm marking that down. Then coming down to the waist, I'll just extend whatever it is I have on that bust down to the waist. Remember, the waist is going to have an elastic, so it will still bring everything together. So on that edge there, I'll just create a little bit of armhole curve right there, okay? And so that's it, guys. We're done for this part. So we're just going ahead to cut this. Guys, if not subscribed, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? I'll appreciate this a whole lot. Thank you, guys. So now taking off the one piece that I'll go ahead and cut for the front neckline. And believe it or not, we're done for this part. Like the half length cutout is ready. You can see this, the V-neck for the front, and of course the round neck for the back. So moving on to the lowest part, which is the trouser part. So this is the piece I'm using, having in mind that the full length of this jumpsuit is actually 57. So by the time I add about take away half length, we've just cut out 17, so we have left with 40 inches left for. Then remember, on the top part there of the trouser, we're going to still put in that elastic waist seam allowance there of 2 inches, just like we have on the half length cutout. We're also replacing it on the upper part of the trouser, okay? Yes, so indicating that 2 inches for the elastic casing, so that point represents my waistline. So from there, I'll mark the hip line at 9 inches. I'm going ahead to mark that down. Then from the waistline there, I'm going to also indicate the crotch depth. Now for the crotch depth, I'll use the hip circumference, which is 50 divided by 4, 12.5. I'll add 2 inches to that, making it what? 14.5. So from the waistline, marking 14.5, and that's going to serve what? As my crotch depth. Okay, so going ahead to indicate that point there. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead and of course indicate the actual length of the trouser. Like I said, is 40. I'm marking that down. Then I have 3 inches left. I'll be using that one word for the hemming allowance on the lowest part. Okay, and we're done with the vertical, drafting there. So before we start measuring, I would like to give this the side shapes that I usually do when I'm cutting my pant trouser. Then on the lowest part, I'm going in by 1.5. On the upper part, I'm going in by 1 inch. These 2 points, we will both connect them to the hip line. So this is automatically going to give it that the side curve shape. You can see this now, and that 1.5 on the lowest part, we've also connected it to the hip line. So from there now, every other measurement goes inwards. So what we need now is the hip circumference of 50 divided by 4, 12.5. I'll go ahead and indicate that on the hip line. Add about 4 inches, just like we did for the upper part. So I think I would like to reduce it to about 3.5, which means I'll also make the adjustment on the upper part as well. So 3.5 for seam allowance. I'll just go ahead and connect it to the crotch and also take it upwards to the waist. Okay, so we don't need the waist measurements, right? Remember, it's an elastic waist. So here we can see that now. Then I'm just going ahead to confirm what I have on the waistline. You can see that it's matching up with what I have on the upper part of my piece there. Then on that crotch line now, I will now indicate the actual crotch there. I'm using 3 inches for that, okay? Then I'll use my curve to create, my crotch curve there, okay? So going ahead to mark that down. So after that now, what I'll do is I'll just take it from that crotch depth all the way straight down to the hemline. And that's it, guys. We're done. Believe it or not, we're done with the drafting of the trouser part. You can see how this looks now. You can see this, guys. So what is left now is just to go ahead and cut this out. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you've not done that. Please hit that subscribe button. Remember to on the notification bell so that you always get notified every time I upload my weekly content on this channel, okay? And remember also to like and share with friends. I will really appreciate this a lot. Thank you so much, guys. And so this is the guys. We are done with it. The trouser part and the upper part, everything is ready. So we'll just go ahead and start joining the entire piece together. So separating one for the front, one for the back for the trouser. So go ahead and sew the crotch first. We'll do the same thing for the other side as well. I'm also going to be attaching a pocket on that part too. Then for the upper part, I'm just going to cut out a facing to clean up the neckline, okay, for both the front and the back. So I'll go ahead and just finish all this one up right now. And here I have this. I have finished up the neckline. You can see the facing. Make sure you do a clean job by weaving up the edges, okay, and also added a bit of hemming gun just to put that facing in place. You can see this is one for the back. We have it ready right now. And yeah, that's it. Then for the trouser part, you can see I've gone ahead to sew in the crotch line there. You can see I also attached my pocket. So this is going to be a free one. So that's why I'm using this kind of pockets to, attach to it. Okay, so you can see how this is looking already. So the next thing now is to go ahead and of course join the shoulder of these two pieces together. So I'll place it right side to right side, join the shoulder. So once you're done joining the shoulder, you can now go ahead and hem the edge of the sleeve. Remember that 2 inches we left when we were drafting, so that's what we used to hem the sleeve. Okay, so once that is done, then you can now place your trouser and sew on that line. That's remember that the elastic waistline, we're going to sew on it, okay? But we'll come back to that later on. So yeah, so let me just go ahead and sew the shoulder and also hem the neckline. So here I've done that. You can see how this is looking. Of course, giving this a very good press, very, very important. So you can see the inside, like it's looking good already. So before I went ahead to join the lowest part, with the trouser. So what I will do now is I'm going to be creating a slit at the back neckline, okay? Remember, it's a jumpsuit, right? So you need to pass through very well, even though we are not putting a zipper. So we'll just have to create a slit. So trying to get the center point of this back piece now by folding it into two. Take your time to make sure you align it properly. So it's the center point I'm marking now. So achieving that now, I'll spread it open so that I can focus on that back piece, okay? Then I'll go ahead and rule a straight line there, just to indicate that is my center line there. Then from that top of the neckline, I will indicate the slit opening. So I'm using 12 inches. You can use 13 inches, okay? I'm using 12 inches or 13. I can still adjust it if I feel that it's not, wide enough. So I'm going ahead to slit it open, okay? So you can see this. So you can actually do this even before you do the hemming, but I think this is another easy way, because all you need to worry about now is just to close up the edges there. So I'll use my bias tape to clean up the the slits, okay? You can use your bias tape, or you can also use a piece of the fabric. Just cut about 1.5 inches long strap. So just use it to clean up the V shape we just created here, and also you leave a strap at the edge there for tying, okay? Yeah, so totally depends on what you want to use. So I'll go ahead and finish up that. So once I'm done with that now, then I can also go ahead and sew the lower part, which is the trouser, on that line, that 2 inches elastic waistline. So I'll go ahead and finish this up now. And so at this point, you can see I've gone ahead to do the joining. You can see this. I've also, cleaned up my slits. You can see how beautiful this is looking already. You can see. So with this now, you're able to, wear your suit properly, okay? Yes. And having in mind that this is not a fitted one. It has a bit of space. So yeah. So, but if you feel that the slit is open, you can still cover it up by just top stitching some edges from the lowest part, just like I'm demonstrating. Okay, so the next thing now, we're about to create our elastic casing. So you see that 2 inches we have there, right? So now you're going to be creating a casing. So you're going to be making this fold towards the upper part or towards the lowest part. But I would advise you to do it towards the upper part though, okay? Yeah, but I'm going to do this now. And we have two cut up lines there. All you need to do is just to fold it in that 2 inches, just fold it to 1.5. Then you're going to be using this elastic casing, divide the waist circumference into 2. So you use one of the elastic for front and the other one for the back, okay? So once you have done attaching the elastic, just arrange it properly. Very important. Then go ahead and sew the side. At this point, the elastic has been fixed, right? Then you take it from that armhole through the pocket all the way straight down to the end, and the same thing for the other side. Then after that, you match up the 2 crotch there, sew it from that point to one end and there to the other end. Then the final thing to do now will be to hem the lowest of it all. And guys, this jumpsuit is ready. That is it, guys. We've come to the end. I hope you find this helpful. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like and share with friends. This will really help my channel a lot, okay? Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget that. See you on the next one. Bye.